What's up, everyone, and welcome to Men's Health Month. This is November, and we're doing 30 Men, 30 Days. And today, I'm going to be talking about a very vulnerable story, guys. But first of all, I wanted to go and introduce myself. My name is Gurpreet Singh. I'm the director of Africa Healing Foundation when it comes to nutrition, environment, as well as the agriculture. And I wanted to talk to you guys about something that's really vulnerable and really tried this person to come out and talk to you guys as well about this, but he doesn't really feel like he can in a way that would be appropriate because he's a little angry with life at the moment. He's working through it, but as always, I wanted to go ahead and ask him and get the message out to you guys because the message should not be lost, right? The message is that regardless of whatever you're going through, that it's always going to get better, right? And so me and him, we made a deal a little while back when I was going through a really hard time, and not a lot of you guys might not know this, but I actually attempted suicide at a particular time in my life, and um, he made me make him a promise that if anything, if I was ever gonna like think about something like that, or if I was having these kind of negative thoughts, that I would give him a call, and I made him a promise. And I followed through on that promise. I never thought about it ever since, luckily, because I was able to get the right kind of help, the right kind of healing, work on myself, work on my mental health. And that's what we're here to go and inspire you all to do as well, right? We're here to go and serve you guys. And that's why this message that just happened between me and him can't get lost. So I'm not going to disclose his name just for out of confidentiality purposes, but he's been a good friend of mine growing up ever since I was probably like 21 years old. So I'm 31 now. So it's over 10 years. So it's been about 10 years, I guess. I wouldn't know if it's like over because my birthday was just like. Anyways, so pretty much this guy and me have had a very close friendship. We've gotten to really know each other, been through a lot of ups and downs together. He's made millions. I made millions together. We've done like a lot of work together in terms of entertainment business and productions and yacht cruises, and we've been like business partners for a few in different endeavors. But like most importantly, um, it's been a loving relationship between brothers, and we're always constantly talking about different things. Like he hits me up at like random times at night to talk about cryptocurrency, and we've done like a lot of work together in that kind of sense as well. And I'm not talking about just financial work. I'm talking about like really just like what can we do to better help each other, and what can we do to just better emotionally support each other. So when he told me he was going through a really terrible time, I made him make him a promise that if anything happens, that he's gonna let me know. If he's thinking about it, that he's definitely going to contact me. And so unfortunately, there was a night, and he did. And he said, Gurpreet, I really need you to come over. I need your help. And so when someone calls for help, guys, this is the number one thing. Don't ask for what. When someone is going through like an emotional thing, don't try to come up with other reasonings for it. So I had so much things going on that night. Like it was ridiculous. And that same night I actually had the African Healing Foundation meeting as well, which for me is technically midnight. And so I could only spend so much time with him, but I needed to go and make sure that he was okay. So I went there, and he's um, really, really drunk, and he's talking about how shitty life is. Um, I'm sorry for using this. It's like I'm trying to like mirror him, so I kind of use the same vocabulary, and I apologize for that, guys. How terrible life is, and how it's just not really serving him in much politer words than he put it at that time. So, at that particular time, he, told me about everything that was going on, and how the government's screwing him over, and let's just say a lot of other things are happening that weren't necessarily in his right mind of state, like supposed to happen in the perfect way, right? If everything was perfect, then those things wouldn't have happened. And how many times in our lives, guys, do we constantly have that kind of battle where we're thinking about things and it's our blueprint that we have to lives about, hey, this is how things should be. And if it doesn't happen to be that way, then all of a sudden we feel distressed, we feel worried, we feel anxious, we feel depressed. I mean, that's just how life works, right? A lot of us love surprises, but we only like the surprise that we really want. So, guys, he obviously was being surprised by things that weren't exactly fitting to his blueprint. And so he thought to himself, what is the point? Everyone is a bad person anyways. And I was like, well, bro, you call me all the time. I'm here for you. Do you think I'm a bad person? Like, Gurpreet, you're one of the rare ones. Everyone else, most of the people on the planet, are just bad people. And so that's another thing that we want to go and think about, guys. So first step that we always do in order to go and make ourselves feel that way is we focus on the situation, focus on how terrible it is, and we focus on how it doesn't fit our blueprint because how it should be. And the second thing that we have to go and do to make ourselves feel in that kind of state is to go ahead and give it a meaning that is general enough so that it can fit something that is going to be bigger than what it actually is. Not everybody is. I guarantee you, if we were to go and sit down, write like a list of 10 people that are absolutely amazing to him, we'd be able to do it. There's so many people that love him. But in that particular moment, generalizing is what causes you to go and hold on to an emotion. So, guys, I had to go and figure out how to break a pattern, right? And so I work with him for quite a bit of time, talking about the things that are great in his life, what he can look forward to, how eventually things are going to work out, how things just happen in God's timing. And he doesn't believe in God, so it's kind of that was an uphill battle for me. It's like in the universe timings, he's like, well, the universe is just all atoms and stuff like. And so I was like, okay, well, everything just happens in the right timing, okay, whenever it's supposed to happen. But anyway, so that was like it was a huge 3 hour discussion. Um, and at the end of it, I just told him, I was like, regardless of whatever happens, bro, I just love you, and I just want you to know that even if everything was to go south, you were to be homeless tomorrow, you were to have no money, and everybody in your life just all of a sudden just disappeared, I would still love you. I still cherish you because I love who you are as a person. I love what your heart is. I don't love the stuff that you do to yourself. I don't love the stuff that sometimes you go ahead and you think about others or the harm that you might want to cause others or yourself sometimes. Because that's not the true you. I know the true you. I know the true you is a person that's willing to go and do anything to go and help one another out. You're willing to go and step outside the boundaries. I remember when you came over to my house when I was super depressed and I hadn't eaten because I was so depressed to the point I didn't want to cook any food. I didn't want to go out for any food. I didn't want to order any food. Anybody brought me any food, I'd be like, thank you. I don't really want to eat. I mean, the pills that the doctors gave me for depression definitely did not help with the entire appetite thing, but it was also depression in general. So he came over and he gave me a massage because he just realized how stiff I was. I just been carrying so much of the pain inside my body. And how many of you guys go and carry some of that pain inside your body in different places? And sometimes we think that it's because of our muscles. Sometimes we think it's because of our skeletal systems. Sometimes we think it's because we're big boned or whatever we want to call it. But oftentimes, our body is just a reaction to our subconscious mind, right? And so the third thing that we had to go and do was make a drastic change in his physiology at that particular moment. So I forced him out of his room. He was really drunk, and it wasn't the easiest thing to do because this guy was stumbling around. But I was like, we gotta take a walk. And he's like, you're gonna have to carry me. And now, mind you, I am pretty strong. I can definitely, squat 325 pounds, and this guy's around 250 pounds. But I'm not gonna be able to carry this man all the way around the neighborhood. So what do? Put his shoulder on my shoulder, and then we just take a walk around, and we just talk about how beautiful the moon is. We talk about seeing nature. He wants to continue to keep getting back to the subject. I just keep breaking it, talking about something more beautiful. And eventually, by the time that we got back, he was just like, "Well, man, I'm just so tired, bro." And it has nothing to do with the fact that he wasn't already tired. I guarantee you, with this depression, he had been tired for a long time. But what happened throughout that change was that he decided to go and put himself into a different focus. Or somebody else, like me, decided to go and put that for him, right? And so that's the number third thing, guys, is that if you make that drastic change in your physiology, first of all, your entire body is doing something, right? When your body is doing something, I mean, just try this out. Try spinning one hand clockwise and try spinning the other one anti-clockwise. And now switch the rotations and have both, like, like try doing that, guys. Like, stick your hand out, start spinning it one way, stick it out straight, and then you can spin them both one way, but try spinning one inside and one outside, right? Your brain gets confused. You can't even do that with your physiology, like a lot of you guys. I mean, I gotta show you guys a video of that actually. I'm gonna go ahead and record a video as soon as I don't have my Africa Healing Foundation stuff, but I'm gonna record a video just so you guys can watch it for that particular moment, and then you'll be like, whoa, I get it now. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say, guys. That your body, when it's changed, especially when you have a drastic change in your physiology, it automatically causes you to have a different focus. So these are 3 steps that I've applied to helping my friend prevent himself from committing suicide. Unfortunately, that story did not end as well as I thought it would, because somehow he ended up ordering some substances that night that weren't really best for him. And luckily, he did not overdose or anything like that. But I did get a call again at like 3 o'clock in the morning of him super up now. So I was like, okay, well, this should be interesting. Went over there, took the stuff from him, and flushed it down while he wasn't looking, and he was so out of it that he didn't even notice. And then he couldn't find it, and he got frustrated. And then again, went to sleep eventually. But I just slept there just to make sure that he was okay. But anyways, guys, so that's another thing that I wanted to go and end you guys with. The one last thing is that if there's one thing that if you guys got from this story, and you didn't like really like get the 3 different strategies that I applied, 3 different ways that I was able to do it personally, I came up with it on the fly. But if you didn't like those and they're like, oh, that can't apply to everyone, this is something that each one of you guys can take in and apply to everyone that you guys meet in terms of having empathy towards people. So many times we don't realize how sadness can display itself. Sometimes it can be being super dressed up, looking amazingly beautiful, beautifully thin, with a perfect 6-pack, dancing at a club, and just having too many drinks. Sometimes it can look like going and overexerting yourself into work. Sometimes it can go ahead and look like you're always constantly smiling and putting on filters and making the most beautiful videos and posting them on Instagram. Depression and people that are about to commit suicide don't always have to go and look like they're the saddest people on the planet. My friend, if you were to go and see him out in public, if you were to see him at a party or an event, you'd think he'd probably be the happiest person on the planet. And I'm not going to disclose any names, but if you're listening to me, brother, I love you. And if you guys are listening to this, just share this with someone that you care about, that you love. Share this with people that you think it might impact them, because you never know what people are going through. And sometimes all it just really takes is letting people know that you're there, because together we are limitless.